Doctor, now most when we remit cash, inward remittances to Sri Lanka, many of our banks depend on overseas money transfer systems or IT systems, software programs, etc. Now, you are a specialized person in the field of IT. Why isn't Sri Lanka in general, or why isn't Bank of Ceylon indulging or looking into the aspects of having 100% Sri Lankan money remitting service? Because since it's always linked with a foreign money remitting service, the profits, even the profits that the bank gets, is always split among a couple of areas, probably to the exchange house, to the money remitting, the software provider, and to the bank as well. Why are we not focusing on having our own money remitting service?
Very good. Now, if you look at Bank of Ceylon, now we have our own branches in 3 countries: England, in India, in Chennai, and in Maldives. Now India, our branch has now become a bank. Maybe we'll talk about it later. So now, and then we have, I said, a network of corresponding banks. We work with lots of exchange houses also. Now we ourselves have a system called eCash. Now that we have given it to some of our agents working in the Middle East and some other countries in the world. But we are now continuously expanding that activity. But we are also providing internet banking. Now that is also, we are trying to improve our current systems to be much more flexible and far more reachable. So once we do that, the people around in the world, it's very easier for them to remit, because they can have any bank account. Most of the guys, well, we are not in most of the countries, so they can have any bank account. Most of the banks in the world, they have this internet service. So they could make that transfer in the bank. They don't have to physically touch the money to Bank of Ceylon network, and then we can get the remittances. Yes, we are working towards that, but the world is such a big place. Lots of players are in that field. There are even some Sri Lankan organizations also there, like Fast Cash. Lots of other big operators are operating in Sri Lanka, MoneyGram, Western Union, etc. Their main job is to be that vehicle. Those companies, they are only set up to collect the money and send to a destination.
That's right.
So, but like England, we have made it everything free for all the people in the UK to remit money to Sri Lanka, so they don't have any third parties involved. So
Doctor, you mentioned that now out of the 3 overseas branches that you have, the London-based branch is no more a branch, but it's called the London Bank. What is the idea behind this?
Yeah. Now, Bank of Ceylon in the UK has been there for about 60 years, 61 years. So it operated as a branch of Bank of Ceylon, Colombo. So now, early this year, it was a long process. We changed the status of our branch into a fully regulated UK bank. Now that's a massive achievement for Bank of Ceylon. So now we have, Bank of Ceylon owns 100% ownership of a UK bank, right? And we are number 37, I think, in the list of the banks established in the UK, out of about 2,000 banks.
Wow.
So you can see we are an old bank. But we have not worked as a bank earlier. So now we have many plans and targets to expand our international operations from London.
Okay. Doctor, now the bank has over 500 locations in Sri Lanka, and of course the locations that you have, the branches you have overseas as well. And all these branches, the 500 branches in Sri Lanka, is connected and is online. In the context of expansion, where the world is now becoming a smaller place, where you can do your banking via SMS or internet banking or palm top banking, or perhaps even calling ATM to come home to withdraw money. In an era like this, where do you see the expansion of the branch network beyond 2010?
Yeah, now, like you said, we have very small to large branches, about 500. all across Sri Lanka. All those branches are fully computerized and they are fully online. Now, as I said earlier, as the days go by, a lot of people will use internet-based banking. They will do home banking. They will operate it from home.
Yeah.
They don't have to go out to a bank to do a transaction. Now, if you look at it, the trends that they will have what they call the cashless society. They will operate debit and credit cards. If you go into shops or supermarkets, you will use your card, or they will have point of sales or some kind of a card device where you can register your payments. So that kind of thing will happen. What I see is now already we have allowed, Bank of Ceylon allowed for phone banking. A lot of big telephone operators in Sri Lanka, they can do certain amount of banking through the telephone. And they empower some of the local shops and other trading houses to do certain banking related service. So I think the time will tell, and I think a lot of we don't need to have big buildings and big branches. I think people will more and more will be able to do their banking from home or from their workplace. On the other hand, the banks also will evolve. Not only merely doing current accounts, savings accounts and banking related thing, like a big one-stop shop. You know, they will have insurance products, they will have capital market products, you can buy stocks and shares, you can buy your stamps or register your letters, and then pay for the services, everything. So it will be like a full service, financial services. Unit, I think sometimes a branch can be like that. So we are also envisaging to do some model branches in the future, that kind of concept, and be green also. We are told to be a green bank, and then also with all the other services.
Well, with that we come to our second break. We'll be asking Dr. What are his plans for Bank of Ceylon beyond 2010. So please stay tuned.